Hi everyone and welcome back to Writing Tip of the Week. My name is Julie Stigmeyer and I work with the GSEP in writing support. Today we're going to talk about apostrophes, when to use them and when not to use them. First of all, I want to talk about when not to use them, and this is when you're trying to show plural. When you're making a word plural, you never need an apostrophe in this case. As in, would you please buy some bananas, apostrophe S, at the market? The apostrophe is not needed here. Instead, you can just add an S. Here are some other kind of silly spellings of potatoes trying to show plural. You don't need it here, here, or here. And you commonly see this mistake in signs, and we don't need it here either. So we would just add ES to show the plural for potatoes and add an S for Oreos. So now that we figured out when not to use them, apostrophes do show possessive case, ownership or possession. So we add an apostrophe S to form the possessive of most singular nouns, as in Fran's coat or nobody's fault, and add apostrophe only to form the possessive of most plural nouns, the clown's costumes, the student's assignments. One of the tricky things is figuring out if a noun ends in S, usually these are proper nouns like a name, then what do we do? Well, because we refer to the APA manual in the GSEP, we take a look here, and the manual always recommends treating it like a plural noun. So Keats's poetry, Maria Callas's opera performances. Let's practice. Are these right or wrong? Many students' attitudes changed in the mid-1980s. This one is correct because we know it's more than one student, so we know it's going to be a plural possessive, so we only add an apostrophe. How about this one? 2 of Mr. Ross's students won awards. Well, according to the APA manual, this would be incorrect. We would just add the apostrophe. How many potatoes do you need for the recipe? This is also incorrect because we do not need any apostrophe for potatoes to make it plural. Last one, my account was confused with somebody else's. This one is correct because we're talking about the account of somebody else's that belongs to somebody else. So that's showing possession. That's all for this week's writing tip. Now it's time for our mini segment, Did You Know? In this mini segment, we're going to talk about this spelling. You may remember from grammar class that who apostrophe S it's a contraction for who is, whereas whose with the SE spelling is the possessive. Let's look at a sentence. Whose car is this? Here we would use the possessive form because the car belongs to somebody and you're asking who. But here, who is the person in charge of the department is the correct answer. That's all for this week's writing tip. Join me next week as we talk about verb errors. Until then, get in touch for writing support and happy writing.